nice mug here. It is a pretty mug.
Friends on the old YouTube. About sports for me and you. Roope and Rumsey is their name. Chatting about things from the latest game. Roope and Rumsey, oh Roope and Rumsey. It's time for Roope and Rumsey.
All right. Well, welcome to another edition of the R&R Show. Sit back and relax and enjoy the best little sports show ever. I am your host, Michael Roope, and this is my co-host, William Rumsey. Hello, William.
Howdy.
All right. Well, listen, we have got we are getting geared up for the NFL season. William and I are actually going to do every Wednesday. We are going to drop at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night the top 6 at 6. This will be highlighting basically 6 games on the NFL docket. It'll always include a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, a Thursday night game, a Monday night game, and always the Bengals game. Those 3 you can always count on, and it will also include 3 additional. And, me and William will do a little, side bet. Whoever picks the most at the end of the year will have to decide what the winner gets.
Will we be giving Odell Beckham updates?
Oh, yes,
as well?
yes. We will definitely give some Odell. I think he's settling in as a true number 2 receiver.
Do we want to talk about the R&R controversy that we had this morning?
No, we won't talk about that. But that being said, we did want to take the time to thank some of the sponsors that have stepped up to sponsor our show recently. Willoughby Supply, JTM, and then also D1 Performance. We can't thank you guys enough. And also, if there's any sponsors out there, anybody that would like to sponsor our show, any of our segments, reach out to either William and I. You can reach me at area code 812-584-9967 or William at 812-584-9498. Reach out to one of us. Again, if you'd like to sponsor, we need a sponsor for this segment, no less. But anyway, that being said, we are going to jump right in, and we're going to talk about a little bit about each game. We picked 6 games this week. The first one's going to be this Thursday night. We've got the Chiefs against the Houston, and that should be a fun game. And, we got right now the line is Houston is getting 9.5 points.
That's a big line.
That's a huge line. And really, we're not going to say who's at home right now because that really doesn't matter. I mean, there's if there is any fans, it's so limited. Yeah. I don't think that really plays a factor. But who do you like with the Houston against Kansas City?
I like the Chiefs to cover.
The cover, okay.
Yes, I like the Chiefs to cover. I think they're obviously coming off a Super Bowl win. They have all the boys back. The band is back in town. They're gonna. I feel like they're just gonna be amped up, and they're gonna actually roll over the Texans. The Texans lost a big piece in DeAndre Hopkins. So where is that offense gonna go? Losing their receiver that they depended on game in and game out. They're gonna be trying to work in David Johnson. How is he gonna look? He hasn't looked good in 3 or 4 years. So I think their offense could be a little clunky, but they do have Deshaun Watson, who is just got a big new contract. But I do think I see Patrick Mahomes throwing for a whole bunch of touchdowns and covering that 9.5 point spread.
So I'm going to put you down for the Chiefs. I am actually going to take Houston plus the 9.5. And I think Houston does have a chip on their shoulder. I think O'Brien has a chip on his shoulder. Everybody's questioning his moves. I think the addition of Cooks is how this is going to play out. I'll tell you how this is going to play out, William.
Okay.
All right. I'm seeing Fuller and Cooks, 2 speed demons, jetting down the field. the addition of Randall Cobb will be getting a lot of underneath stuff. Watch out for Randall Cobb this year. I know he's been a forgotten man kind of ever since the Green Bay days.
He had a pretty good year last year for the Cowboys.
Yeah, decent. And I just think he's going to get a lot of underneath stuff. I think the Chiefs win, but I liked Houston do the backdoor cover.
I just don't have any faith in Bill O'Brien.
All right, well, rightfully so. I just think the Chiefs are going to have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, and I think Houston covers.
Okay.
So now, if they had the fans in the stadium, I might be swayed to do that differently.
Okay.
But no fans. I like the Texans to cover with the 9.5.
Our first disagreement.
Oh yeah, so we're going to put that.
So obviously we don't go over these before the show.
No, and so this should be a lot of fun. So our second game I've got on the docket, we don't go over them so much that he doesn't even know the games that I pick typically. So the second game we are going to cover is the Dolphins versus the Patriots. The new era of no Tom Brady. And the Dolphins are getting 6.5 in this game. Who do you like, William?
I like the Dolphins.
I, too, like the Dolphins.
Oh, man.
So, yes, I like them to cover.
It's kind of crazy picking Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Dolphins over, the lines under a touchdown. In Foxborough, that just feels weird. But I just think that Miami will go in there and give... Now, who do you think will win overall? Do you think the Patriots will pull it out?
I think that they could possibly eke it out.
Yeah.
It is going to be nip and tuck. And I tell you what, the Patriots lost to the Dolphins at the end of the season, which was a must-win to get them a bye. And they couldn't even pull it out then, which Dolphins had nothing to play for. Patriots had everything to play for. The Dolphins... no matter what you think about them, they play hard for their coach, Flores. And I think that this year is going to be no different. Another year under him. I just like their team. They play hard. Now, the Patriots have had a lot of players that have opted out of the year. And, that defense is still going to be good, but it's going to keep them in every game. But I think if the Patriots win it, they eke it out. But I could easily see the Dolphins winning straight up.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be incorporating Mr. Cam Newton into the fold. Since Belichick has been in New England, his big bugaboo is drafting receivers. I think last year they tried to work in N'Keal Harry. He had a very subpar season, I would say, but he was a rookie receiver. But I think they expect him to take it up a notch. Will he? They just haven't had good luck in drafting receivers. Julian Edelman, pretty long in the tooth, but he's a gamer. I think he'll be ready to go. So I don't know. I'm just taking the Dolphins. I don't think that I think that they will cover.
Yeah, and I think the Dolphins will be able to run on the Patriots. Whether that comes to fruition, I don't know. And I will say this, for the viewers at home, I apologize. William has forgotten our blue mic today, so we are probably going to try to project a little bit louder than normal. Hopefully, William...
Was that a cue for
that? Was maybe a
kick
cue.
It up?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Work.
But I will I will put us both down for the Dolphins plus the 6.5. Hopefully, that line gets adjusted up to 7. If there's some heavy action, I don't suspect that to happen, but... if it does, that's even more, bang for the buck. The next game on the docket that we will, pick will be the Chargers against our beloved Bengals. The Bengals are getting 3 points. Who do you like in the 4 o'clock tilt?
Oh, man. Do I go with my heart?
Well, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But
this one's tough.
Very tough.
I am going to go with the Bengals.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're actually going to win the game outright. I've seen some things going back and forth online about the differences between offensive lines, defensive lines. I mean, upon first, reaction, most people are going to pick the Chargers having a better defensive line. But when you really break it down and look at the numbers, people have pointed out the Bengals actually have the superior defensive line. I think they added DJ Reader. They've got Atkins, Dunlap, Sam Hubbard. So they actually have, on paper, the better defensive line. Offensive line, both I think are in flux. You just don't know how they. The Bengals have Jonah Williams coming back. They've got a couple new guys on the line. So how will they do? Then you've got Joe Burrow, Tyrod Taylor, both kind of starting in new offenses. But I feel like for some reason, and I think by our jersey showings, Mr. Burrow is going to come out and ball.
I like your pick here, William, and I'll tell you why. If there was one offensive line that was worse than the Bengals last year, it was San Diego. Their line is terrible. Well, yes. Well, I'm sorry, Los Angeles Chargers. That'll happen a ton this year. But the Chargers line was absolutely horrific. They could not keep Phillip Rivers upright, and I think that's why Phillip had such a horrific year, because he was under the gun, and this year will probably be no different. It's going to get down to how the Bengals block up their two defensive end, Bosa and Melvin Ingram. If they can block them up, I feel very confident that the Bengals will win this, plus outright, but then you get to 3 points, so that's just gravy. If the Bengals lose, it won't be by basically a field goal or less. So feel confident picking the Bengals plus the points. And we usher in the Joey B era.
Yeah, and Derwin James, they're all all-world safety. He's out. Now the secondary, they say that the Chargers secondary is better than the Bengals secondary too.
And I don't disagree with that, but I will tell you this: it will get down to Burrow understanding where the mismatch is, and I think he's prepared. Everything that I've read and saw indicates that he's going to be ready for this game, and they're going to want to showcase him and let him pick the mismatches. I hope that they show some 4 receiver sets, because that'll be a lot of fun watching Joe just look for the mismatch.
Random side note, you said Phillip Rivers. There's a guy that writes for CBS Sports, Will Brinson. Mm-hmm. He picked the Indianapolis Colts and Phillip Rivers to win the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, I don't think it's too far-fetched. Colts defense was coming on last year, and the Colts have a good offense. I think that they were missing.
Take my side note away.
Yeah. I don't think that's
okay.
I mean, because I don't know what the line is. I'm sure it's pretty favorable, the payout on that, and that's not too crazy. Okay. I mean, if you're wanting to make a little money on a little bit of a longer shot, I don't think the Colts are a bad choice at all.
All right. Who dey?
All right, so we're both on our beloved Bengals here. Now, this next game here, we've got the Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh. And we've got the Bucs getting 3.5. Who do you like in this game, William?
You pick first.
All right, I am going to take...
I got to think about it.
This one was a hard one. I mean, and the thing is the Saints are not getting a home field advantage here. Which may have swayed me, because that's one of the tougher places to play. But I got to admit, I like the Bucs. I'm going anytime you can give me 3.5, so you got a hook. So it's a little bit of a hook, the extra half a point. You don't think Tom's not going to keep this close? You're crazy. He has a wealth of weapons. The Buccaneers were very competitive last year with a turnover-prone Jameis Winston at quarterback. You're negating that with a very meticulous, careful Tom Brady, adding some weapons, Gronk, Fournette. I mean, I'm telling you, I think this is going to be... I would love to see some 2 tight end sets with Howard and Gronk and even Brate. They might even throw out some 3 tight end sets when they want to go heavy package and run Fournette. You got your 2 all-world receivers on the outside. Brady is going to have an unbelievable year. I'm expecting big things. I think the Bucs win it outright, but you give me 3.5, that's gravy.
Yeah, I'll take the Saints at home.
Okay.
I'll take the Saints. I mean, there is a little bit of concern. They had some, Michael Thomas and Drew Brees had some rifts in the offseason, but they are working out together. They look sharp as ever. The Saints at home, I know there's going to be no crowd, but I'll take the Saints 3.5.
All right, so we got another disagreement there, so that's our second one. The next one on the The tilt is the Cowboys versus the Rams. The Rams get 2.5 points on this. Who do you like in this one?
I like the Cowboys.
I do also.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that offense is just going to ball out this year.
Yep.
They added C.D. Lamb. They have Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup getting another year of experience, and they always have Zeke there to pound the rock. And then they also have a guy that's been getting a lot of pub is Blake Jarwin, the tight end. They think he's going to take a step. Dak's playing for a contract. I think that they are going to ball out.
Yeah, I also think that they will win. The Cowboys, I think they're another team that has a chip on their shoulder. Just a lot of naysayers out there about them. I think that defense is going to be hungry. They took a step back last year. I think they're going to want to get back to the elite. I think the Rams, we talk about the Bengals and Chargers having bad lines. The Rams had a terrible line last year. I think the Cowboys get after them. I think the Rams have kind of lost their identity. Everybody thinks the Rams are a high-scoring team, but everything that they do goes through the run. They lost Gurley. They don't really have – they have no clue who they're going to feature, I don't think, even in that backfield. So that's kind of a question mark. I just think the Cowboys win this and win this easily.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff, a couple years ago, they thought he, number one overall pick. They thought he was going to take the next step into superstardom, which he had a great year a couple years ago. Gave him a big contract. Took a big step back last year. Now you mentioned the offensive line. Was it because of that?
I think it was.
Did the league catch up to what Sean McVay was trying to do? But he did, you had mentioned Brandon Cooks. They've lost him. Now, down the stretch last year, Goff started picking up big chunks with Tyler Higbee.
Yep.
So they're going to incorporate him for the full season. There's just a lot of questions. I mean, we just keep going. There's a lot of questions. You mentioned the backfield.
I think they're going to run a lot of two tight ends.
They do have Aaron Donald coming after Dak Prescott. So if he can get in Dak Prescott's
and Ramsey, matching up with Cooper.
But I overall Cowboys.
Yep, I agree. Then our Monday night, the final game that we're going to predict here is we got the Monday night tilt. We got the Tennessee Titans against the Denver Broncos. The Broncos, this is almost a pick 'em. The Broncos are getting a point.
Okay.
So who do we like in that?
I like the Titans.
Okay, I do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee's going to pound the rock, obviously, with Derrick Henry. Why go away from that when it worked so well last year? Ryan Tannehill made a step forward last year. I mean, based on his numbers and efficiency, he was one of the better quarterbacks in the league last year. The only thing that does kind of worry me is A.J. Brown, their stud rookie receiver. He's a little banged up, so I don't know that he is going to play. They're saying he probably will, but I know he is a little banged up. On the Broncos side, Drew Lock, he's still kind of an unproven guy. They did add a big-time weapon for him, Jerry Jeudy, but will they click?
And Melvin Gordon.
And Melvin Gordon. He's banged up, too. Is he going to play?
Yeah, I suspect he will.
Okay.
I would think he will. I kind of like you. I think Broncos could be the surprise team this year, and it's all going to basically get down to Drew Lock. Mm-hmm. They've given him a ton of weapons. You've got Lindsey and Gordon in the backfield. You got Jeudy. In the breakout last year, Cortland Sutton. You got Noah Fant underneath there at the tight end position. They've got a whole host of weapons for him. It all gets down to Drew Lock. If he plays up to his potential, Broncos can win this easily. But I suspect that the Titans coming off, everything's still in place from last year. And they were, one of the more dominant teams in the playoffs until they, obviously went against the Chiefs. But I don't think...
And they just signed Clowney.
Yep.
So he'll be fresh.
And he'll probably be on a snap limit. Yeah. But that's just another piece to the puzzle. I expect the Titans to win this and, win it fairly comfortably.
Your boy Colin Cowherd about a month ago listed Drew Lock as a dark horse MVP candidate.
And you know what?
With those weapons, I mean,
if
you just never know about young quarterbacks, how they'll respond, what they're going to. I mean, he had some decent games last year.
Yep. And just adding Judy and Gordon's just only going to amp up those expectations, and that is a good dark horse pick.
I think Denver's defense is taking. I mean, they still have Von Miller coming off the edge, but I think they've taken a step back the last couple of years.
And I think the Titans are going to do exactly what you say: pound the rock, and then once they're having to commit to the run, that's going to be the play action, and then you're going to see more of what got Tannehill that big contract play action fake hitting, either AJ or. Who's the one guy that's always been a disappointment?
Oh, Corey Davis.
Yeah, Corey Davis.
Corey Davis, yeah, he has. I mean, he was in the draft. He was picked before John Ross.
Oh.
He was picked before John Ross, Patrick Mahomes.
So they both passed on Mahomes.
They did. And Deshaun Watson.
Wow. So there we have it. So out of our top 6 at 6, me and Billy are on opposite sides on the Chiefs Houston game. I'm taking Houston plus the 9.5. Billy's just taking the Chiefs. And then on the Dolphins Patriots, we're each taking the Dolphins plus the 6.5. Chargers Bengals, me and Billy are both taking the Bengals plus the 3. The Saints Bucks, we're on opposite sides of the ledger here. Billy is taking the Saints minus 3.5. Never give Tommy Terrific the hook, so 3.5 plus 3.5 for the Bucks. I'm taking them. William and I are both taking the Cowboys minus the 2.5. We're laying the 2.5 on them. And then William and I are both taking the Titans minus 1. So got two different
games.
Yep.
So what are we betting?
Let's think about that. We will have that answer for you on the next top 6 at 6. But hopefully this will help you when you're putting some wagers in for this Sunday. And again, if you want to sponsor this show, reach out. Let us know. Shoot either William or I a text or a call. Love to hear from you, and let us know where we were right and where we were wrong on our picks leading up to the games. Thanks, guys.